So what's going on, guys? Basically I'm doing a DIY video on the BMW G30. So I have a 2019 BMW 540i X-Drive, whatever. Um, so everybody knows that they have the problem with the door panel lights, the ambient lighting having light and dark spots. This is not a fun DIY. I'll tell you straight up right now, it's not fun. Already actually did the driver's side. It looks heaps better than this one, but if it drives you nuts, I'm gonna show you how to do it, because every other video just shows you how to do the dash, which is also not fun, but that is way quicker than these door panels. So these door panels can be really finicky and a huge pain in the ass. But let's go ahead and get right into doing it, because I have no time right now. So you're gonna need a few things for to do this. First of all is a drill. I'll show you what we have to do when we get into that. I use a bit driver for all your impacts and torques that you're gonna need on the actual door panel itself. A trim tool. This is a Cornwell, but a plastic one actually works fine. I actually have a ton of plastic ones I use too, but any type of clip tool or something you could pry on. You could use a screwdriver, just be careful. But basically that's all you're gonna need is these things, plus your polish and microfibers. I just use standard rubbing compound. It's what I had in my garage and it seems to work. So first we are gonna have to get this door panel off. So first thing I like to do is I just shove it right in here. I typically try to do it right where this meets. It seems to always come out the easiest there. And just kind of work your way up and down this. It is a little bit finicky, but it is fairly easy to do. And then once you kind of get it popped, you're gonna want to have to pry it up and down on both sides. So there's a bottom and the top here, and just pry it until you can get it off. And once you have this off, you're also going to want to take your tweeter off, which just unplugs. It's super easy to take out. And you're going to have two Torx bolts in here. You're going to take those two bolts out, and then I like to start on the bottom and start prying it out. And once you have it out from the bottom, you're going to want to lift it from the back, and it'll just pop right off. Now that we have the door panel off and all the wiring unplugged, everything just unplugged super easy. What you're gonna do is take a look at the back of the door panel. So the light that is giving me an issue is the top one that goes across the top. What you have to do is these actual panels are glued together by factory, and you need to separate this panel from the actual door panel itself. So what we have to do is we have to drill all of these out, and it'll pop right off. So this is the actual more tedious part of the process. I promise, don't be scared. It looks scary, like it's not gonna fit back up, but our solution works, and it actually holds up stronger than it does before. I used to have a squeak, but once I actually put these back on, it was fine. So what you're gonna do is take your drill bit, and you're slowly just gonna have to work it in just enough to get the head off. So the head will come off just like that. And you're gonna do it all the way across for all these until you can pop it off and separate it. So once you've made a mess by drilling them all out, you only have to do pretty much the bottom row and this one. There we go. Now your second step is to get this part separated from the other side of the door handle or door panels. So repeat the same process with all of these same ones. And also take out this Torx bolt. So after drilling all of these out, you'll be left with this right here. So basically, what you're gonna need to do now is when you have, this is your ambient light, you have to be really careful that you don't break this. So this is the light that is faded. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pop this out, and don't be afraid, because you can actually disconnect the fiber optic from the actual light here. So you actually have the light sensor off. People say you can't do that, but you sure can. I usually take the sleeve off and you just need to work out this fiber optic. So here you go. This is the actual optic that lights up. You notice the light and dark spots from the discoloration, and I'll show you how we fix that. So what we're gonna do is put some polish on a microfiber, and we're just going to pretty much hand polish this thing as clean as we can get it. You're probably gonna have to work it about 3 to 4 times. Spend some time on this because you do not wanna do this twice. Okay, so we got the bottom one polished up. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna get it back in. We did the top one already. I'm kind of skipping through this fast. It is pretty self-explanatory. I just want to let people know that it can be done. It may not be the best video, but at least you have an idea of what you have to do. So when you're feeding this back in, you just got to clip it in and make sure that you are super careful with this, as these are very brittle, and if it breaks, you're screwed. So you should have said that from the jump. These are non-replaceable. You cannot buy them from BMW. You can buy aftermarket ones, I believe. That does require wiring, but they are a ton brighter. One of my buddies has it, which is nice, but yeah. So we got it all snapped in, and let's get to putting the door panel back together. So instead of gluing these back together, what we're gonna do is be ghetto and use these 1/4 inch self-tappers. So you're gonna pretty much connect everything to where they were glued before, and you're just gonna screw them in very lightly. Make sure they are 1/4 inch or smaller. They could be screws as well. And what you can do is just screw it right in. Nice and slow so you don't cross thread it. And just tight enough so it connects. You're gonna do that all the way across. All right, so we have the door panel back together after we polished up the fiber optic. We used our self-tappers to get the door panel back. Like I said, use 1/4 inch and they won't poke through. Okay, that wasn't poke through. I almost thought it did for a second, but yeah, so all we gotta do is put the door panel back on. All right, so I got the door panel back on. Looks heaps better. Let me know if you guys need any more DIYs. Thank you.